Hello everybody, welcome, I'm No02, and thank you for watching this video. Continuing my complete Bright Sands guide, we are currently here at the East Collection Point. East Collection Point here, we're talking about loot, PvE, PvP, and then some miscellaneous things you can climb on, or some notable things about the area around our major location. As I go through every major location on the map, systematically, one by one. Important thing to note that I need to say is that I am not going to be showing you how to do the puzzle here. So if you're looking for that information, it's not here. I will show you the contents inside. But I found that even though the puzzles are all pretty simple, that the sort of user experience of getting to a new location when I first started playing and discovering, oh man, look at the stuff here and what's going on, and there's a puzzle to do. I found it really enjoyable to go through that whole little process of figuring out how to open up the supply door and see all the juicy loot behind it and things like that. So I don't want to spoil that. And also, I don't want to have this video be me running back and forth carrying power cells. The point is, get 3 power cells. They're all inside the building. You put them in the 3 slots and open up the door, and you are good to go. So, let's get into the loot. Key loot that you're going to find here is just generic construction materials. That's right. Typically, we wouldn't consider the construction materials to be anything super noteworthy because they spawn literally everywhere. But here they spawn in quite the abundance, simply because there's lots of industrial crates, lots of hard spawns for all the generic construction materials as well. Containers that you'll find here is industrial crates, luggage, briefcase. The supply room will have industrial crates, consumable boxes, weapon crate, and some jackets. And that's it. Not a whole lot of diversity here. Oh, and I'm sorry. And there will be a secret stash here as well. Secret stash here as well. Hard spawn, pretty much all the generic construction materials. Haven't really seen anything else beyond that. So let's get started. I'm going to run around and loot the entire building so you can see where all of the spawns are. Let's start with the supply room. You can open this up by putting in the 3 batteries. There's 2 consumable crates in here. A weapon crate. A jacket. Open up the other jacket. And then we have 6 industrial crates. And so when it comes to the industrial crates, minerals, materials, all readily found in here. You can also find the auto mesh, the aluminum, some of the more elusive construction materials can all be found in those industrial crates. I have found things hard spawn on the floor on this upper hallway, which leads to another industrial crate. Keep in mind that if you jump off from here, you will take fall damage. If you jump on top of the railing and just sort of jump onto this guy over here, you can fall down without taking fall damage. There's a briefcase right over here. Things will hard spawn on top of these crates here. Next is the secret stash. And this shelf, as you can see, this is where I find the bulk of the hard spawns. Like the bulk, like if you're looking to loot and scoot real fast, check at the bottom of the staircase. These shelves are just filled with stuff, hard materials, compound sheets, the insulation, right, some alloys, etc. Here's the secret stash, directly underneath the staircase. We'll head over here now. I will note, even though I'm not going to show you, there is loot behind these doors. Opening and closing these doors is part of the puzzle. So while doing the puzzle, you can loot this area. It's mostly hard spawns, but in this far right door, there is an industrial crate on the other side of it. Here's another crate right here. Briefcase. Then things will hard spawn on the boxes here, and these crates over here. So down here, this is the elevator. I think we'll look at the dead drop here and see what it's called, because I think it's this track, like a minecart track basically, that leads to the elevator, to the deep underground elevator. Very, very deep, as you can see. While we're down here, I do want to mention one little sneaky thing is that you can get behind this dead drop and hide. So if you're looking to hide, get away from somebody, or you're gonna, I don't know, go AFK or camp the dead drop at the you know, because you're a scumbag, which we understand. We appreciate you. You're part of the game too, you know. You can't camp right there and wait for a person to go drop off the mining drill at that dead drop. For the most part, that's all the loot inside now. I do want to note that there is a blue runner egg that spawns right there. And now we're outside. And for the most part, as you can see, all of the crates that you see, as far as the eye can see, all of these crates have the ability to have loot spawned on top of it. Again, just generic construction material, per usual. I did forget to mention there are dumpsters outside. There's 3 dumpsters in total. There's one of them. And we're just looking for loot that hard spawns on the boxes. Also back here, hydraulic piston, ball bearing. Just again, all that generic construction material. The hydraulic piston. Little area right here. There's a briefcase right here. This is the staircase that goes down. I've never seen these lockers to be lootable. Some more hydraulic pistons. 2 more dumpsters. And then we can start heading up here. All these crates with a chance for stuff to spawn on them. A Cotech multi-tool. Oh, very nice. And up here is the last bit of containers and hard spawns, right? All the crates. Just all the crates here. A lot of loot. Actually, a surprising amount of loot here. And then 2 things of luggage. And 2 things of luggage. And that's it as far as the loot is concerned. Pretty good if you're looking for those industrial stuff. There is lots of industrial crates, so in theory there's lots of chances for finding auto mesh, as well as I think the Cotech multi-tools and the aluminum. But in my experience, I really haven't found them here. I found them at the dig site, and we'll cover that when we get to the dig site. But in theory, because those things just spawn inside the industrial crates, this is a good place to potentially grind it out. But I haven't had much luck with it here. That's just the funny thing about RNG, is that I'm sure you can find it here, but my personal experience, haven't found it yet. PvE. Now you may have noticed we've run around the entire complex and we haven't seen a single creature. The only PvE that is relative to the East Collection Point is outside the couple of main entrances here. So this is the road that goes down to Vaccine Labs. There's typically 2 to 3 creatures there, and you can see 2 Striders and a Rattler. The other main entrance from the sort of like the base camp area, the swamp, this main road, there's typically nothing on that main road as far as PvE goes, as far as creatures go. You just run up and through the open gates, and as long as you get good RNG, these creatures can be walking closer to the gate and spot you as you enter. For the most part, though, you really don't have any trouble. So again, that PvE group applies to these 2 main entrances. The other entrance for PvE is over here. They're sort of out in that field. As you can see 3 Striders. There's typically a Rattler out there. Occasionally you'll see a Jeff out here, and I believe that Jeff spawning in this open field is connected to meteorites landing in this open field. The meteorite spawns the Jeff, or calls the Jeff over, or something like that. But sometimes the meteorites will be mined or despawned over time, but sometimes the Jeff will remain. Just keep that in mind for that particular entrance. And the other bit of PvE that might have some relevance to us is when we're entering the main door. Oops, I didn't mean to jump down, but now we're down here. Is entering the main door. It's this path up here leads to the crashed drill site. There's typically a bunch of rattlers and striders walking around the crashed drill site, which is right here. So if you're running close through this area and they aggro onto you, they'll chase you down this pathway. But that's it. Relatively PvE free. Nothing really going on there. When it comes to PvP, I have to admit I haven't ended up in a lot of fights here. But keep in mind that when you're entering the main hallway, people up here have good high ground angles on you, great headshot angles on you as you enter the hallway. They can also see out the windows there. So for whatever reason they hear you shooting at the crash drill site or hear the rattlers or striders chasing you, by chance somebody could potentially be in this window. For the most part, though, just keep in mind this is long hallways. Long, open area hallways. Not a tremendous amount of cover. Cover will put you into a headshot angle. These crates will. And for the most part, when it comes to PvE, do not get trapped down here. Do not let people know you're down here, because it's going to be one hell of a fight to get out of here safely. Because there's just so many angles and headshot angles, and they'll have the ability to maneuver and get to different cover and different angles and use these bars for cover, and it's just, you'll be trapped down there. In contrast to sort of like lack of cover and long open corridors, out here there's actually plenty of opportunities to break line of sight and maneuver around. There's some limited pathing as far as getting verticality and things like that, so if you see somebody, if you're in a fight with somebody and they sprint up, then this is the only other ramp down comfortably, but of course there's other ways down that don't result in fall damage, but keep in mind that once they're up here and you're on this side, this open gate is literally the only way for them to get through. Keep in mind, too, that people can shoot through the gaps in these, I don't know, aluminum walls, essentially. Which makes me want to point out that there is a rather sneaky angle here, right here. Pretty specific, right, to be fighting in this area in general, but you can get really good angle on people here. In general, especially if you end up taking the rail to get on top of this roof. This is a great place to end up sort of engaging with a fight. People a lot of times don't notice you because you're sort of just like a part of the environment almost. You can even crouch and make it a headshot angle to some degree. That's really it for PvP. It's just lots of places to maneuver and take cover and things like that. Now for some miscellaneous things. You can use that rail to get up on top of this roof. You can use the rail over there, or this fence over here to get on the rail over there that runs down to the vaccine labs. Highly recommend that you check out my Riding the Rail series if you're looking for really sneaky places to climb up on things and stuff like that, and how you can take advantage of the rail system as far as moving across the map. See, back here is rather dark, as well as gives us some angles. Very specific, not covering a lot of area, but again, we can hide here, as well as take cover from the storm. And in theory, right, if people are here, they might assume that you're underground. So if you're hiding from the storm and the lightning striking above you, people might think you're underground to start with. It could be a relatively safe place to take cover from the storm. Take a look at my list here. One thing I want to note is an alternative path up to here, up to this above the collection point. Right, we have that entrance from the lumber camp, the entrance that I showed you earlier, But an alternative way is from here. We're heading from the north. Right, we're in this field, and instead of going through the main gate that's right there, you can run through this way and mantle up. As well as you can see, too shabby of a place to hide some shadows and some flora to cover you up. Next is the another hiding spot underneath the staircase. It's right where the secret stash is. As you can see, the secret stash has actually despawned. Simply our running, we looted it, we interacted with it. Then us running around the collection point has actually despawned it. And when it's despawned, you can hide here. You're in a lot of shadow. You have angles through the staircase. So like you're covered in shadow and you're shooting through the staircase. As well as crouch angles here. Down the hallway. And things like that. Down here, there is, obviously you don't want to get caught down here, but I showed you behind the drill. I forgot to mention that you can climb up right here, which gets you behind this pillar, sort of in here. Nice little hidey hole area. No real angle on anything, but if you're desperate to hide for whatever reason, you can get behind there. Let's see here, outside drill, main battery, the inside drill, under the staircase, with the elevator shaft and behind the dead drop. Yeah, that's it. So this is the last one right here. You can get behind these crates, and if you want to camp somebody doing the puzzle, like let's say you are passing through and you look inside from this doorway here, and you can see like a battery sitting out in the hallway. Right. Typically, the puzzle will call for this battery being here for a little bit, potentially. And if there's no laser wires guarding the door, or you just want to camp the battery in general, because for whatever reason you know someone's going to be here, if they're going to come from this way, you can take cover right here. Relatively in shadow. People may not notice you. But if you get close up to the boxes, pretty dang hard to see you from this direction. And you can camp the battery. And that's it for the west. Where are we? The east collection point. Quite a bit of loot as far as the industrial materials go. Mini reactor inside the loot room, as well as a bunch of industrial crates and things like that. Get your nuclear reactor on. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And please feel free to leave comments. Let me know what you want to see for future content and things like that. And I'll see you guys in the future.